We are rolling up for Q1 Friday night here in Pomona. And I don't know, it was really hot today. It's starting to cool down. This run is not going to do us really any good for Sunday. The conditions are going to be completely different, but we'll go down up there and see if we can go A to B and not break a rod like we did last week. All right, we're in the back of the tow ring. I'm rolling up with Izzy, who is our tire guy.
Yes, sir.
And something Rocket Videos asked, do's and don'ts on tires. And somebody had said something about it looked like we rolled and switched tires from side to side once. That will never happen. We could never run. They're only one side only. They can never be ran on the opposite side of the car.
Yep.
Some key do's and don'ts. Got anything? Uh-oh, we stumped him on a simple one.
There's so many. There's
so
too many. Just make sure they're not in the sun when they don't need to be. Sun, if you have a certain PSI that you need them at, the sun will increase that PSI, so it'll stretch the tire, and then we have false information to give to our crew chief tuner. So
only if we get a pair of tires that are kind of short, we'll put them in the sun and put extra pressure in them, and we'll stretch them out to get the circumference that we're looking for if we can. Other times, you know, you got them where you want them, so you keep them in the shade, keep tire covers on them as much as we can. We don't, try to keep them clean, try not to let anybody get any oil or solvents on them. He's got his own little area in the back of the pit to stack all his tires and process, and he puts the bead blocks on, mounts the tires, all that kind of stuff. So not a lot amount of do's and don'ts. Biggest thing is keeping them out of the sun, making sure nothing gets on them that shouldn't be, and then just keeping them maintaining the size that they are, managing the air pressure throughout the day. He'll manage, say we have 4 or 5 sets of tires in the back of the pit, he'll manage the pressure on those and measure the circumference all day long.
Yep.
So to give Clover the best shot for whatever tune-up and setup and size tire Clover wants based on track conditions.
That's right.
All right. So guys, I got a question about how the starter works. So you can see how it engages there and why he spins the deal. See it engaging? That's why he's got to spin that up so that it engages it into the front drive hub so it doesn't skip around and bounce. That's pretty much it on how the starter works on the front drive. And these are the same type of radial starters that started like B-17s back in the day, which is kind of a cool tidbit. Yeah.
So we've been rolling around here. So I'm going to interrupt the Angry Hornet because we got a special guest here, Mr. Stephen Pearson, Rat. Everybody knows Rat.
And Clay Milligan.
Me and him go way back.
Yes,
so
we do.
We're giving you a thumbnail for YouTube
My
right here.
video too. Yes, sir.
2007 we go back, right?
Yeah.
2007. Wow. It's been a long time. Well, because you guys kind of sponsored the car for a ride back in the day,
Yeah, we
didn't
did a
you?
year.
A year.
Yeah, a year, yeah.
Back for more tour.
Yes.
Back from work. That's
Great.
It was.
nice.
My band didn't have a clue, only me. Remember, we were like, we're going to fly to a gig. They go, wow, drag ring.
All right, we are rolling up to the staging lanes for Q2. Last night didn't go great. We shook the tires real bad. Didn't hurt the motor, didn't really hurt anything except for a couple motor mounts and a couple other, threw the radio out of the car and broke some mounts on a computer because it shook that bad. But other than that, everything's good. Go and see if we can go A to B today. Track temp's like right around 150 degrees. It's only 95 degrees or 94 degrees outside, but track temp's real high. So we'll see if we can make it go A to B. All right, it's Sunday morning here at Pomona. Tore the tires loose on Q2, but through the 330 we were really good. We were really happy with that, and we made the choice not to make the qualifier for number 3, mainly because parts and weather conditions was not going to give us any help today. That second qualifier is what we needed for the information we need for today. So anyways, that's why we didn't make the third qualifier. Nothing hurt or stupid or anything. It was just a choice to have more parts for today, and it wasn't going to help us much. Robert AU asked, why do I only change the lower bearings? So on the mains, in between each round, I change the lowers because that's where the load is at. So it's trying to shove the crankshaft out the bottom of the motor. So all the load's on that half of the bearing. So we replace those every pass, and then every 4th, 5th pass, we'll change the uppers. On the rod, it's actually the opposite. All the load is on the upper part of the rod bearing, so that's what gets smashed. That's what we take a look at. Somebody else, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but somebody else asked, what causes bearing failure other than parts? There's several things that can cause bearing failure. If we get too lean, it'll get too hot and it'll cook the oil. That can cause bearing failure. If it's a little too much compression and it's a little too hot of a tune-up, it'll beat the bearing to death and cause it to stick and ruin a bearing. Not quite enough oil pressure or enough oil volume. If it starts to cavitate or we don't have quite enough pressure in there, you'll start to gall a bearing. So there's a lot of things that can happen with a bearing other than just a parts failure. That's kind of what we fight, is creating enough pressure. We create so much pressure that, you know, we'll smash a rod bearing. If we smash a rod bearing, you know, 4 or 5 thou, that's normal, and the bearing still looks decent, but it just starts to pooch out a little bit. Once you go across that, you start smashing it too much, then you'll get, you know, metal to metal contact and start really hammering on it. It's kind of that in a nutshell. So hopefully we can turn on some wind lights for you guys today and make it to the final. All right, we are rolling up for E1. We are first pair against Doug Coletta. So we'll see how we can do. Hopefully we can make a long day out of it. But first pair here in Pomona. We are rolling up. Oh, this looks weird. Anyways, we are rolling up for E2. A little late. It was a mad trash. We heard it pretty bad in E1. But turned the wind light on, knocked some rods out of it, burn up some wiring and air lines, and that takes more time than actually doing the motor swap. So here we go. We got Salinas in the second round. Hopefully we can turn on another wind light. Hey guys, back from Pomona. It's Thursday. We got this weekend off, and then next weekend we got Topeka and then Brainerd to follow that up. Anyways, obviously we lost second round. We put a hole out a little bit early in the run, and as soon as they came around, Clay went ahead and clicked it off to try to not hurt any more parts. First round, you know, we made it through, but we leveled that motor. Caused a fireball, oil dragged down. Took us a little while to find all the melted wires and air lines to get us ready for second round. But we got her done and got up there in time, and just came up a little bit short. Anyways, hopefully with a week off we can acquire some stuff and be out there ready to go. Figured I'd answer a couple more questions and then call this one a video. Let's see here. Bruce Myers asked, is it true that on oil pressure for brief periods we run over 300 pounds? When the engine's cold, when we first start warming it up, yeah, it'll go over 300 pounds. And then it'll come down from there. But yeah, we run pretty big clearances, 70 weight oil, and so we run quite a bit of oil pressure. Move Spec asked if breathing in the nitro ever gets to us. Yeah, you never get used to it, I don't think. A lot of guys will wear a gas mask so they don't have to. I check the timing on the car and I can walk away after that, so I usually don't wear a mask so my vision's good because I have to wear glasses anyway. So when I'm checking the timing on both mags, I usually just hold my breath or breathe real shallow. If you breathe deep when that thing's running nitro, you're going to hack a lung up. That's all there is to it, and I don't think you're ever going to totally get used to it. It'll make your eyes water. It's nasty stuff, but it's fun. Malsey23 asked if I would ever like to be a tuner. On a Top Fuel car, no. I don't have the experience behind me. I don't have enough time. Maybe someday, but I don't think I'll ever put enough time in to do that. Tuning some alcohol stuff. Here at work, we have an engine dyno, so we do a lot of tuning with carburetors and alcohol and some sprint car alcohol stuff, and I'm getting more and more into that, and I like doing that, and it's fun to tune that stuff. But to be honest, I don't think I have the ability to tune a Top Fuel car. You got to have a lot of experience in the clutch department. You got to have a lot of experience in some other avenues that I don't have yet to be a tuner. Plus, it's a hard job. I don't think that one's for me. But tuning alcohol stuff, my own stuff, tuning a lot of carburetor stuff. I run the dyno here quite a bit with Mike, and tuning that kind of stuff's a lot of fun. And trying to get the most out of people's motors is a lot of fun for me here. And that's probably the extent of my tuning as of now, anyways. Thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. If you like what we're doing, like and subscribe. Keep asking questions. I haven't answered every question I've gotten so far. I try to answer most. There's some I won't. There's some asking Mike about. I've gotten asked a few times to ask Mike what it was like to work for Snake. I'm going to need to get a minute to interview him. I want him to answer those. What's arable and what's not. Thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Keep them coming, and we'll send you a video after we get to Topeka next weekend. So that's it. I'm also going to do a video on my car. I got it unloaded in my shop finally, so we'll do a different video and give you a walk around on my personal car on the next one. Thanks. Bye.